Hi, I'm Sarah.
And I'm David. Let's talk about Survivor 48, episode 5. And this had a doozy of a social media preview with Jeff crying and drama. And there's never been an episode like this before.
I mean, there really hasn't.
I would agree.
In maybe all of reality television.
Yeah.
Pretty wild.
Yeah.
But first, if you're new to this channel, please click subscribe and give this video a thumbs up.
And we're on Patreon. You can support us there at patreon.com/Nerdtainment.
Oh, man. We knew Jeff was going to cry.
Yeah.
David.
I messaged Sarah because
Yep.
she posted the trailer
Yep.
and I watched it 500 times and was like tearing up every time. And I said to Sarah, I was like, do you think it's about Eva?
And I was like, oh, no, I hadn't thought that.
Well, I thought you would have because Eva's your girl.
She's my girl.
Yeah.
And I was like, who? I was thinking it was like a Sari in the water moment, right?
Totally.
Like who's
Which
struggling?
it is.
Kind of.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, David really made me think. And I was like, yeah, I 100% could be about Eva. And it was. But honestly, as much as that was a huge moment in this episode, we had other really amazing moments as well.
Yes.
This was a great episode. This is a great season.
It's a good cast and they are playing.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, so let's get into it.
Okay.
There's like more to come that I'm excited about.
Right.
But we're coming off of Thomas's vote out, right?
Yes.
And so now that
surprise to the California gals.
Yeah, because they did not know about those advantages.
No.
Kyle confirms that yes, they did indeed burn the extra vote, which we knew, but we didn't see it in the episode. But now he's saying that within the show.
And they really didn't give us much about it. We just have a soundbite of like, and I burned the extra vote.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm still not convinced that they had to, but they did.
But they did.
And it's like damage control, right?
All around, everyone damage control.
I don't know why. I mean, yeah, you should. Like when you're playing this game, you have to like be differential and you know, apologize when you don't necessarily have to. Because to me, Kyle doesn't owe them anything.
Oh.
But Shaheen is like, Kyle, you know, you get it. We had to do something. And they're like, no, I do get it. And like, you get it, right? Like we had to do something.
Right.
Joe sits Kyle down for a one-on-one.
I was like, Joe?
He says, you know, Kyle, I was being 100% genuine in my conversations with you. And I'm having a hard time with this. I'd be like, I don't know you shit, Joe. You voted for me.
Did you just write my name down? I was like, wait, what did Joe just say? Like, I had to do a double take. I was like, did Joe just try to guilt Kyle?
I know.
After Joe just turned on Kyle?
Uh-huh.
Okay. But Kyle, I love, was like, you know what? I was true with you until, you know, I noticed someone went through my bag.
Yeah. And I think you were in on that.
And that just kind of worried me. I was like, oh.
Yeah. I mean,
good one.
Joe was not there for the going through of the bag, but I'm sure he heard about it and whatever. He was part of the plan to get Kyle out. So
you voted for him.
That's the challenge of like dealing with this show. And we'll sort of touch on the theme again later on, but it's like you can say something to someone and mean it and also do something against their game. You could say to someone like, I really like you and you're a good person and I want to work with you and you could mean that.
Yeah.
And you could still make a move that hurts their game.
Yes.
Yeah. That's a hard thing to accept. So Joe's having a hard time. But you know, it's not like a big blow up fight or anything. We all saw it. Camilla is like, I'm freaking out. I'm trying to play it cool.
She's like, on the inside, celebrate.
Yeah, she's like, I'm running this tribe. Okay. Did you see what I just did?
She was like, I did that. But she's like, just like everyone else, like just that sort of that tone of like trying to damage control.
Yeah.
We're all good.
It's so good that Camilla and Kyle are not like spiking the football when they come back to camp, you know?
They're not like, we got you. We're actually working it.
Right. Because by the way, it's still 2-2.
Yeah.
So they need to play nice, you know? But they also need to find out a way to win. We're going to go to a reward challenge right away.
Pretty quick. That was fun.
Yeah.
Day 10.
Yeah.
Reward. Bianca.
Shocked.
Sees no Thomas. He's like.
I mean, basically everyone is shocked. Like.
As you would. He had the numbers.
Are shocked. They're like, what happened there?
How did that happen?
You know, I mean, they must be wondering, like, was an advantage played? Did somebody flip? Like, there's
you have to assume an idol or something was played.
Yeah,
for sure.
So lots of dropped jaws when he's revealed to be the one who gets voted out, but the reward is to go to Sanctuary where good things happen.
Where good things happen. And if you don't make it to Sanctuary, you're still going to get some like pastries and a platter.
I'd be all over this reward.
Oh, yeah.
Savory pastries, sweet pastries.
And sandwiches.
Yeah.
It wasn't like just sweet.
Uh-huh.
A little bit of like sustenance in there. So yeah, whether you get to Sanctuary or not, win this because you need the food. He said donuts. And Say goes, donuts.
I need a donut.
And I was like, I would do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Donuts are one of my favorite
But
things.
Say's not going to fight for that donut.
Not really.
She's going to say, I've been through a lot. And she has, to be fair.
I mean, to be fair. Yeah.
Because, she not only has she played every tribal or every challenge, but she's also been to a lot of tribals, which is different from other people later on who are claiming that, well, I played every challenge too. Say's been through it. So I think she does deserve a break.
I mean, she does deserve a break. I don't know that I would say it like that.
Yeah.
I don't think if
she
Jeff
doesn't know how to say things. Yeah.
That's so tough to see.
That is such a
because I
recurring
want to
theme.
like support you, and but I'm also like, don't say those things.
Mm-hmm.
When Jeff says, "Oh, you're sitting out," why? Just be like, "I'm here for the team."
Right.
I'm here for the team.
And they got it.
What, like saying you need a break? Just not necessary information to share.
No.
Because yes, true. Like she has played every challenge. And I would argue she had to fight harder at each challenge because they were losing.
They were losing, yeah.
So when Chrissy's like, so have I. I'm like, I don't think that's exactly the same. But Cedric has played every challenge at Say's level.
Is that true? Did he sit out from anything last episode when we did the tribe swap? I can't remember if he sat out.
I don't think so.
Because I had the same thought.
But I don't
was like,
think
then
so.
maybe he sat out in a challenge the previous.
No. So later, cut to Say complaining to Cedric. I was like,
wrong crowd.
I don't think Cedric's the one who's going to sympathize with you.
Yeah, I know. But
anyway.
It's just another example. It's like, and when they highlight this, because I'm sure every single time Jeff asks people why they're sitting out, and it's just never useful information for the edit, and so they leave it out.
Exactly.
This isn't the first time Jeff has ever asked that question.
He didn't just ask Say and not the other person who happened to be Charity.
Right.
He asked Charity too.
Yeah.
But she said something kumbaya-y.
That wasn't worth airing.
That didn't need to make the edit.
Yeah, right.
Exactly. Good point.
So they have to throw the sandbags at this rotating target, bounce balls into a net, and then it's the rolling balls into a target thing. That's this challenge.
Great.
Remember that?
Nope.
Mm-hmm. So Loggy, they're all sort of neck and neck, but Loggy gets the balls bounced off of that net into the basket first.
Okay.
And Loggy Purple is to the ball rolling first.
Okay. I have Siva in the last place with Jeff saying, that was an abysmal failure.
Yes.
And Cedric says, thanks, Jeff.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you. Because Mitch is the only one who's good at that PE coach. He's the only one who's good at bouncing the balls and landing them in the net. I think he literally is maybe Chrissy got one of them, but he's the most physically capable on this tribe with Say sitting out. And when we get to the ball rolling, again, Loggy had the lead there and David had the finesse. And the Loggy Purple, it's not a curse, what a blessing, is still in effect. They just keep winning and winning and winning, regardless of who is on Loggy. They're just going to win. Yeah,
they get the ball. They win.
Yeah.
And I don't believe anybody else is even in contention at this point.
Siva was still on bouncing the balls into the net.
Siva's way back there.
Yeah, way back there.
Vula has one ball when Siva finally moves up to this phase.
Yeah. And Mitch can't quite get the touch. I think he's feeling the pressure. Literally, they had to have been like, Mitch, you do it.
Please.
You do the ball rolling. You're clearly the only one who can handle this.
Please.
And I feel like he's feeling the pressure. He's pushing a little too hard. He wants to do it fast. And this particular thing is very slow and steady and finesse. And you have to have the exact touch. And he's rushing. And good old average Kyle wins for Vula for the first time. Vula's going to win a challenge.
Vula did it. Good job.
Yes.
You did it. But Siva seems like they're kind of falling apart.
Mm-hmm. Well, Say's not happy she doesn't get a donut.
So Mary's like, oh my gosh, did we just win the sanctuary? And still had food back at camp.
She cannot contain herself.
She can't.
She
had
and Say might have a similar disease of like saying things you don't need to say.
True.
But Mary's, I think, is like relatable just because, you know, she's been through it just like Say has. And now she's like, I couldn't even eat all the fruit we had.
She's like, I starved for 7 days. And now you're telling me I have a surplus of food? Right. Like, that's what she was saying.
Yeah.
And Say was like, zip it, Mary.
Yeah. She's like, inappropriate. You're being a sore winner.
Yeah.
And Mary's like, whatever.
Yeah, Mary's face was like, girl, I've heard you before.
Thanks.
Not worried about it. But everyone else's faces, like, they're not used to this, right?
Say, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Everyone
else is like, what is Say doing?
Yeah,
whereas Mary's like, yeah, no, this is Say.
She's like, no, don't worry. I'm fine.
Yeah.
And I just have to say, like, there must be something truly epic brewing between Say and Mary because they keep highlighting this personality clash between the two of them, even when they're on separate tribes. And, you know, Mitch specifically, who is on Say's tribe, is like, girl, be quiet.
Girl, be quiet. He says it perfectly, though. He says, you can have an opinion and not openly say it. And I was like, crocheting on a pillow.
That is the wisdom that comes with age. And Say is a little bit younger. Not to say
I am going to put it on every one of my social media bios. Like,
it's so true. That is something we should all adopt in life.
I feel like the internet does not understand.
No.
Yes, of course you have an opinion. We all do. Doesn't mean you got to say it.
Doesn't mean anybody cares about
Except when you have a podcast like this.
Exactly. Hello. So we're going to go to Siva Orange first.
Okay.
Before we go to Sanctuary, where good things happen.
Yeah.
And this has good old Bianca on there with no vote. And
no vote, Bianca.
She's trying to figure out something for herself.
Yes.
I mean, we're not going to tribal yet, but she's already coming back and saying, like, maybe I'm less of a threat now because Thomas is gone.
Yeah, she's like, Thomas is gone. How could this changes my game? How am I going to play? And honestly, Chrissy and Mitch are saying the same thing.
Yeah.
Thomas is gone, so that's not as big of a pressure to get rid of Bianca. And by the way, Say's driving us bonkers.
Truly. I mean, Chrissy and Mitch are like, oh my God, how did Mary and Cedric do it for so long with Say? They can't stand her. And they're like, Bianca's good people. We want her to stay. And Mitch actually pitches Bianca the plan to get out Say. And Bianca's like, interesting, I hear you.
Yep.
I am going to play the middle because I don't have a vote.
Yeah, she's like, loving this new shade on you. But I am also still going to talk to Cedric and Say because, shh, quiet, no one knows. I don't have a vote. Yeah.
And Say's like, Cedric, I want Chrissy out.
Yeah.
So it's sort of a three-way. Is it going to be a Bianca? Is it going to be Say? Is it going to be Chrissy? Like, that's kind of the situation on Siva. There's lots of options that they're exploring.
Yeah, absolutely. They ultimately are like, camp might be better if Say were gone. So, yeah. All right, let's go to Sanctuary.
It's not about the pastries. It's about the milk. And we are not talking 2% milk. We are talking whole milk.
I did love that he was like, this is whole milk. I can tell a difference. I did love that for him, but I'm sorry. Y'all, milk is disgusting.
It's disgusting.
Adults do not drink milk. This is gross.
No, I drank milk at every meal growing up. I'm from the Midwest. And now the thought of that is like, I can't. It's so like thick and ugh.
Do not get me started on milk. I have such strong opinions.
And the fact that David drinks milk instead of water.
He's like having a moment with his milk. Like Mike White with his wine.
Amen. Yeah.
This guy was just so happy to have his milk.
And Teeny with her wine, by the way, as well.
Thank you. Yeah, let us not forget. But there is community discussion about Say.
Oh, they're all like, Mary, how dare she?
Mary. They were all offended for Mary.
You've been through it too.
Yeah.
And you deserve a little good fortune. Like, I mean, they are beyond kumbaya on this tribe because it's just like, everything's good for Loggy Purple. So they're giving Mary some love, and I'm happy for her. And Charity is just, I don't know if it's the milk. I don't know if it's the ham and cheese pastries, what it is, but she's crying because she loves everybody so much. And I'm like, girl, I don't think you know. People have been throwing your name out.
No, she has no clue. No, I wonder how she's watching this.
I know.
She's like, what?
Right.
I mean, Charity's like having an emotional time about how much she loves everyone. And Eva's like, I don't believe it. This
Fake
girl.
ass, whatever.
Yeah.
Not real. Can't trust her. Because, and listen, Eva, I feel like, is going to find her people.
Yeah.
And she's going to like lock in. Joe is one of those people. And I think David is one of those people. And David told Eva, like, I don't really trust Charity, whatever. And so I think Eva now, like, Charity's on her naughty list. And she's probably just never going to trust Charity.
Yeah. Vula. They've
Vula
got a
Green.
platter of pastries. They're happy. Yeah. They're eating.
Mm-hmm. But they're 2-2 deadlocked, like we said. 2 Loggies, 2 Sivas. Original. What are we gonna do?
Well, you know what you do when you have a plate of pastries is you sit back and you enjoy some conversation.
And you go deep.
Apparently.
They are all telling stories of hardship of they're basically like Survivor's a Cakewalk compared to what our families have gone through.
Every single one of them could say, like, this is tough, but like my parents went through worse. And I was like, oh my gosh, like the odds of having 4 people who could really sit there and be like, yeah, let me tell you about hardship.
Yeah.
I loved this whole scene.
Amazing. And just to hear from so many different perspectives and like world things that I know very little to nothing about.
Yes.
You know, this like war in Iran, the Iranian Revolution, or
the Sri Lankan Civil War. I don't know anything about it.
Right. So it's really cool to like learn a little bit about those things through these people's perspective, and then to see them bond over it. It's like we're from completely different. We're all from America, but like our families are from completely different parts of the world, and like here we are in frickin' Survivor eating a plate of pastries on a deserted island together.
Yes,
like,
it was. I mean, I loved it as a viewer, but it was clearly a very great bonding experience for them as well. Because like Camilla's now emotional, saying, "I can't vote these people out."
No, they're like, we are the final 4.
Yeah,
like this, we cannot lose.
Yep,
we must win immunity tomorrow because we're 2-2.
Yeah,
but we're a 4.
Yeah,
like we're locked in.
And honestly,
so I'm like really rooting for them.
I know.
Immunity challenge.
I'm like, yes, be a secret 4. Go forth and triumph. Like, absolutely. This was lovely. Like, this is pre the whole Eva thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, this episode's amazing. I love this.
I know.
Right.
So good. So immunity, they have to swim to the shore with a boat on their back, carry this chest, unbraid these ropes, unlock the chest, and then it's the table maze.
Yes. And Jeff says that each person will be responsible for 1 ball on this maze. And I love that.
Yeah. So we've got Star and Cedric sitting out.
Okay.
And Loggy again is in the lead when they get to the beach.
They're going to start digging first. Yeah. They get out of the water.
And Siva Orange is kind of struggling with the like unbraiding of the ropes.
Yeah.
It's taking them a little longer than the other 2 tribes.
They are last out of the water.
Yeah.
Vula's going to get a little stuck because this is one of those dig me through the sand things, which gives me such anxiety.
Yeah. Kyle, it's hard. It's especially hard for like tall people. You got to send through your smallest person first. But they do send Kyle through before Camilla. I don't know why. Maybe just a strength thing. Who knows? But yeah, Kyle gets stuck. Loggy Purple all gets under the log fairly quickly. I think Eva does. So she's like, my thighs are too fat. And I'm like, girl, your thighs are muscular. Muscle.
Do not think fat at all. Yeah.
But when Kyle gets stuck under the log, that gives Siva Orange some time to catch up and dig under the log there. So it's like a little bit more neck and neck.
Loggy is going to get to that final phase though first.
Yeah.
But then we've got Vula and Siva up there. Mitch is going to land the ball first for Siva. Joe's going to land one for Vula.
Yeah.
And now we've got 2 for Vula. Then we've got 3 for Vula. Camilla's going to land it. We're good.
We're good.
Yeah.
Loggy Purple is struggling. Charity's on the maze first, and she drops several times, and she doesn't get one. And she's like, somebody else go. Because she's just feeling the pressure because she's hearing other people on tribes. And it's like, you're going to have to land one eventually, but I suppose you just don't want to feel like you're so far behind.
No, keep rotating through. I think that's good. Like, take a minute, watch someone else's strategy.
Yeah.
And I think that was what helped Avula, right? Because Camilla struggled at first.
Okay.
And then she like stepped back and Shaheen was like, look.
Well, and then you saw how she whipped through it at the end.
Because I think that they took a moment to like work together to say like, here's the strategy. Here are
the pain points. Like, and then you can really zoom towards the end. Because she really like nailed it when it came down to getting the last ball. So she was observing the right strategy. But yes, very exciting for Vula Green to win immunity. I did not want any of those 4 to go home this episode.
No.
Then they get tied eventually.
Yeah, so David lands one for Siva. Bianca lands second. Oh, I have Siva. Okay, great. Whatever you say.
David is on Loggy.
Okay, fantastic. Then it's tied 2-2. Mary's going to fly through
it. She nails the 3rd ball for Loggy.
She was like, screw this. Boom. Done.
And then Eva's up to do the 4th and final ball for Loggy.
So we got tied 3-3. Both teams are going to have to land this 4th ball. It is Eva versus Say.
Right. Joe is like rooting for Eva from the sidelines. And he's like, he's not being super vocal, but they're like catching his audio of like, you got this, girl. Come on. And he's like, he is locked in on Eva.
She is stressed. She like, declines because she's so frustrated, can't get
She's sobbing. She's saying like, why can't I do this? She's getting so frustrated. And the people on her tribe, I'm like getting chills just thinking about it when they're like, Mary's like, tell yourself you can do this. Like literally say that to yourself. They're like really trying to coach her through it. And David's like, breathe. It's really such
everyone
a beautiful
is being
moment.
So supportive, but she is truly breaking down.
She's in her own world.
The production, the camera operator. I mean, all of this is so beautiful. Camera is getting Joe off to the side with those like dart eyes, like intensely trying to impart the message to her.
He's like, I'm sending you strength.
He's like, yes, you've got this. You've got, whatever. But she is like crashing, but still doing the challenge, right?
Yeah.
And then she is going to nail it.
Yes.
And everything just like unleashes.
It's like an explosion, and also like everything's frozen in time at the same time, because she's like fully having an episode, which we as viewers have like learned about and heard her talk about. And so we recognize what's happening. I think Loggy Purple like obviously knows something's up, but don't really understand what. So they're physically huddling around her, hugging her. And Joe is like, you can tell he wants to leap out of his body and like go over there.
Yes.
And he's trying to make eye contact with her and he can't get it. And finally, Jeff, who I'm sure, again, you always say like Jeff is prepped for these things and he knows what's going on in the game. The producers prep him. And he finally is like, Joe, go hug her.
Yes. This is really interesting. I mean, emotionally, I was like pacing at this point.
Yeah.
And I was like, yes, Joe, hug her.
Yeah.
But
and I was like crying during this.
I was David, I was ugly sobbing. I was like, couldn't
that
catch my
never
breath.
Happened.
Never.
So there has never been a Survivor episode like
this.
Never.
I couldn't catch my breath. I was like sobbing. But production wise, like if we take a step out, so Jeff knows Eva has autism. Jeff knows that Joe has this information and no one else does.
Yeah.
And he's seeing what we're seeing.
Yeah.
But there's a rule. And so Jeff has to make a choice.
Yeah.
Do I basically game
literally
for this moment?
Literally.
Or do I just play by the rules?
Yeah.
So it's a big deal that he says, Joe, do you want to hug her? But oh my God, thank goodness he does, right? Because then this moment, right? I've got chills.
I know. He just engulfs her.
Yes.
And then she's like, hold my hands.
The hand
and
thing.
He holds her hands and he's like, come out of it. Come out of it. Like, come back.
And it is
she does. Beautiful. Yes.
You watch her like start to breathe.
Yeah.
Oh my God. This whole thing was so wild and intense. And of course, like sobbing in the moment as well.
And she comes back goes back over to her tribe, and they're, you know, again, sort of like rallying around her, and they're like, you did it. Like,
Yeah,
you're
you did
whatever.
it.
Like,
It's
you're
amazing.
amazing. And Jeff is like, let's talk about it. Like, what just happened? And Eva steps out and she's like, I'm going to tell my story. Some people know it. My original tribe kind of knows it. Joe really knows it. Like, this is who I am. I have autism. My parents, my doctors never thought I would be able to do anything except marry someone else with autism. And look at me now, but I still have these episodes. And, you know, she just lays it all out there. And it really is like a testament to when you show the most vulnerable sides of yourself. We talked about this with David earlier on too, where it was like he presents as like this macho stuntman, but then when you learn that he's living out of a trailer in front of his dad's house, you're like, I like this guy so much more. Literal, I mean, Mitch is crying. Who can't relate on some level to the story that Eva's telling? And it's just amazing what they did with this edit.
It really was. I mean, I loved that she felt like comfortable enough to tell her story. Part of me didn't want her to tell this truth.
Yeah.
But I totally get it.
Yeah.
And then for Joe, you know, Jeff did the right thing by pointing out, like, this could be a bad game.
Yeah. He's like, you know, I made a call and everybody seemed okay with it, but like,
you guys just outed a relationship.
And Joe's like, I don't care.
He's like, if this were my daughter, I would want to know someone was there for. And Chrissy, like,
yeah.
Like, everyone seemed to get, like, don't leave someone hanging.
No,
when
and Joe's
struggling.
like, my kids are watching this.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be the man that I tell them that they need to be.
Oh, my God. You're just like, humanity can be beautiful.
Yeah. It's so wonderful. And Jeff is like, you two might blindside each other at some point in this game.
And I'm glad he said
that. But that does not nullify what the moment that you just shared in the relationship that you have built. And that I think goes back to what I was saying earlier, where like you can say things to people and mean them. Like Joe and Eva, I'm sure, are going to know each other for the rest of their lives and love each other. But they might have to make a move on each other at some point in this game. And that's just the reality of Survivor.
Yeah. And, you know, we're going to hear it later. They're going to be like, Joe will never vote her out, you know, or if Joe sits on the tribal, he's always going to vote her. Like, this will come back.
It will.
But to be able to seemingly have everyone embrace like a pause in the game to get through this was lovely to see.
Then Jeff cries at the very end. He's like, Eva, I'm a dad. And then like he starts to choke up and he's like, all right, we got to call it. I can't be crying on camera.
I was like, Jeff, even though I knew he was going to cry.
I know.
He still was like, oh my God, he's crying.
No, literally the whole time I was like, when is Jeff going to cry?
Yeah.
I saw it in the preview.
Because I'm sobbing, Jeff. So if I'm crying, you would cry. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, my Lanta. This was intense.
Intense, yes.
Yes, I did. This is what will do it.
I know.
Yep.
So we're actually going to go back to Loggy Purple first before we go to Siva Orange, who's headed to Tribal Council. But everyone back at camp is like so supportive of Eva.
Yeah.
She's feeling great. Star is giving her love.
Yeah.
Those two have never seen eye to eye so far in this game. But Star's like, I've got people in my family who are on the spectrum. It literally, like, I was watching this and I was like, this is literally real life Inside Out.
Yeah.
Like, if you remember the movie where the first one was all about sadness and how people don't want to feel sadness. I'm getting into it, Sarah.
No, I love that you think I saw an animated movie, but please continue.
So Inside Out 1 is all about the emotion, like the 5 major emotions, right? Okay. Sadness is one of them. And it's about how people don't want to feel sadness and think of it as a bad emotion.
Yes.
But the lesson of Inside Out is that immediately following sadness, you see people rallying around you to support you and lift you up, and joy comes from that. Like, literally, it shows this like young girl who's like remembering all her sad memories, and then it like zooms out, and like right after every sad memory is happiness, because there's people who come and they're like, we love you, you're amazing. They're like, lift her up, whatever. And this is just like literally that story playing out in real life. It's like really cool to see.
That's a lovely message for a movie. No.
And it's real. Look what's happening.
And it's true. It's true. Everyone was affected.
Yeah.
And Star seemed to be like strongly affected.
Well, because she's like,
to the point, she's like, you know what, guys? Let me be open with you.
Since we're being honest, I got this thing and I can't unlock it to save my life.
She's like, I got the beware advantage. Start with Eva's like, I know you did. I know it.
Right.
Yeah. And they're like, what? So as a group now we go and we like go to all the animals
Right.
and
Oh, that's an L.
figure out the clue.
That's an E, whatever. And Eva is a word scramble whiz. And she's trying listen. She's trying inlets. She finally lands on silent and unlocks it.
Yes, she gets silent. It's public in front of everybody.
Mhm.
And Star's like, I now bless you with this, my child.
What?
I mean, when Eva publicly opened it, I was like, this feels like Eva just got this idol.
How dare you?
Well,
I'm like, Star. I know we're having a moment here. But giving away your idol?
yeah.
No.
No. But it would be awkward to be like, thank you, Eva. Like, how do you handle that situation?
I understand that it's awkward, but I would do it.
Okay.
I would be like, thank you. That is
Thank
gonna be
you
mine.
for figuring
And I
that out
know
for
that like
me.
now y'all know that I have an idol and we might come to a moment where we are gonna have to flush it.
Yeah.
But if we're flushing it, at least I have it.
Yeah.
And can't go home.
Maybe I would try to be like, all right, let's share this.
There you go.
Maybe I would try to be like,
Right.
It'll be ours.
Let's all decide. We'll make it to the merge with this idol and then we'll use it together.
Yeah. I mean, the upside is Star has her vote now, right? Up to this point, Star had lost her vote.
True.
So no matter who has the idol,
Yeah.
at least Star gets her vote. But yeah, I mean, Star was way generous to just be like, no, that's all you.
Wouldn't have been me. I would have been like, Eva, I love you and I love your story, but that is my idol. So thank you.
And
that's why I'm a villain
for you, and I will take this idol. Yes, David, our villain. Yes.
So now we can go to Siva Orange, who's our tribe, who's going to tribal. We got to figure this out. Is it Bianca? Is it Chrissy? Is it Sai? Why am I still saying Sai?
Who's Sai?
I don't know. Let's go through all the options.
Yeah.
And Bianca is like, I'm going to pit these two sides against each other because I need a deadlock so that I'm not a vote option for them.
I love this play. Bianca is
It was the smart play.
so nervous about not having a vote that she says, if the two vote and tie 2-2,
Mhm.
we revote. I'm not in the conversation.
It doesn't matter. And then one of them has to flip.
Yeah, I'm like, genius, Bianca. Go with that. Love it.
Very smart.
Loving it.
Chrissy and Mitch are like, we don't even need to bother with that. Cedric, get over here.
Yeah.
You have to vote Saya.
Yeah. Okay. So Chrissy's approach is very much, I tell you, that the conversation didn't really look like Cedric was interested, but Chrissy said it and Chrissy thought that meant.
Oh, because then she goes to Bianca and it's like, get this.
He's in.
We got him.
I was like, honey, you just said it.
And Bianca's like, I'm going to have to fact check
She's
that.
like, cool. I'm going to talk to him. And then sure enough, Cedric's like, no, I'm not voting for Seth. I was like, oh man, Chrissy.
But also, I'm like,
switch up that
Cedric,
approach.
you should.
But
like,
also, yeah.
Say doesn't trust you.
Doesn't
You are
trust you.
saying things in confessional like, Say's the person I trust most in this game outside of myself. You should not. Say's telling Bianca, you don't want to work with Cedric. Say's sitting in confessional saying, Cedric's written my name down twice, he'll do it again, which, by the way, is true and fair. But, like, Cedric should understand that Say is not a good ally for him.
Well, I think all of this is really messy. Because, like, strategically, is Chrissy the vote? I don't think so. I mean,
no.
Yeah, sure. Break up a Chrissy and a Mitch.
And
but they're not even that close.
Well, the thing that I would say about it is that it's about getting a Siva out at this point. I think that's where people's heads would have or should have been.
Sure.
Of like, we've voted out a lot. There are 3 original Vulas left. We just voted out a Loggy with Thomas. Let's get out a Siva with Chrissy.
Yeah.
Original
but what
Siva.
we're seeing from Say is, I can't trust Cedric.
Yeah.
But I'd like Chrissy to go. So I'm going to try to work with him on this vote.
Well, because
like, this is suspicious.
Say was not pleased that Chrissy was like, well, I played every chance. You know, like, there was a little bit of this. And when there's a little bit of this,
Yeah.
Say's setting her sights on you.
Yeah. And apparently so is Chrissy.
Yeah.
So Mitch and Chrissy think they have Cedric. Bianca knows they don't have Cedric.
And she's like, well, then what I have to hope is, like, even though I'm hearing that Cedric is not going to initially vote Say, there's been a seed planted with him, and hopefully he'll flip on the revote. That's what she's thinking. And she's like, but there's going to be so much damage control for me to do at the next, when we come back.
Right.
And I'm like, girl,
just get yourself back.
Focus on tonight.
Get yourself back. What if you don't come back?
Might not have one more day. You need to just focus on getting yourself one more day, and then you can worry about that problem tomorrow. What is your problem today? Your problem today is that you don't have a vote and you need to make it through this tribal.
You got to survive tribal.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. She doesn't know Cedric like we know Cedric.
So true.
I get it. You are trying to plan ahead. That is fair.
Yeah.
That's probably smart.
Mm-hmm.
But we're talking about Cedric.
Yeah.
And Cedric has yet to play any semblance of like a normal game.
He literally voted for Say twice on paper, and then sat and saved her
and then
to her
voted out
face.
Justin. His choices are confusing.
Yeah.
And so giving him rational information does not equal a rational response.
No.
No.
Or it doesn't vote. I mean, it doesn't result in the response that Bianca wants. I actually do think it's like a fairly rational response to say, like, oh, she doesn't have a vote, let's vote her out.
Why does that equal vote her out?
I just think it's like an easier vote. It makes things less complicated.
Why did you go from Chrissy? Well, we got to get there. We'll get there.
Okay. So she tells him. Yeah.
Yeah. So very last minute, because she seems conflicted,
and
tortured.
She's like,
last minute.
I need you to trust me.
Here we go.
And I actually loved in your interview with her where she revealed, like, he told me about the Justin thing and how Justin hadn't told him that he lost his vote. And that's why Cedric voted him out. So that was clearly in her head. But she tells him, I don't have a vote. I'm doing this to build trust. I want to work with you. And now he has to choose.
Yeah.
Do I want to get Bianca out or do I want to get Say out? So I actually don't really know what's going to happen going into this tribal.
No, because again, it's Cedric. So in one way I was like, okay, he's literally going through the same thing he went through before. Justin didn't have a vote, but this time Bianca is telling him. So I feel like a normal person would be like, she actually told me.
Yeah.
What a great ally. I was burned with this before. This one told me.
Yeah.
But it's Cedric. So I'm thinking.
He's just got some sort of soft spot for Say.
He does have a soft spot for Say, but he doesn't like. Oh my God, we'll get there.
I know.
Jeez,
I know.
No.
We go to tribal, and the first thing they say, I completely disagree with. They're like, "Oh, is Bianca the vote?" Well, yeah, on the surface, yeah, she makes sense. No, she doesn't, because if you vote Bianca out, you're deadlocked 2-2.
Uh-huh.
So the sensical thing is for one side to scoop her up. So I would say that the vote is either Chrissy or Mitch or Cedric or Say.
You would think. Like, really, take out the person in the middle. I think it's just, anyway. Okay.
And Bianca basically says, like, yeah, maybe like it makes sense to get me because I'm like a lone wolf, but like I could be a third for whoever. And then the next time we're a 3 and we get the other person out.
Right.
Use me.
Yes.
But she has no vote.
They're talking about cracks and bonds.
Yeah.
Say is actually impressing me during this tribal because she is not revealing her plan, right?
Yeah.
I thought she kept things mum. She went along with what everyone else was saying. I was really impressed with Say.
Yes, she was fairly level-headed in this. What I wrote down was like during Bianca's speech about like, well, they should use me as a third. I thought, isn't that cluing Cedric into I'm next? If I'm going to join this plan with Mitch, Chrissy, and Bianca to get Say out, what Bianca is suggesting in this speech is that she's a 3 with Chrissy and Mitch, and I'm the next easiest vote out. So I think that raise some alarm bells for him. Make sense?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
We are gonna see Say vote for Chrissy.
Yeah.
We're gonna see Mitch vote for Say.
Yeah.
Which we kind of know these lines. But then when we get the votes read back to us, we've
This
got
was
that
shocking.
Say, we've got that Chrissy.
There it is.
And then boom, we've got a Bianca. Say's like, wait, what? Bianca? And then a second Bianca. The person voted out is Bianca. And it's like, wait, what?
And
how 2 votes against Bianca?
Chrissy pulls out her megaphone and she's like, did you see that, Say?
Did you?
She lost her vote.
Did you count the votes? Say, did you notice?
There were only 4 votes in there. I'm
4.
like, how do you know this? What happened?
How do you know it? Okay, y'all, go watch my interview with Bianca.
I was shocked by what she told you.
Fascinating conversation with her. Bianca she watched Cedric like a hawk.
She said I told him 5 minutes before Tribal.
They walked to Tribal. She watched him the whole time.
And I watched him the whole time. She literally said to you, he did not tell anyone.
He did not tell anyone.
He clearly did because he's like, did you see that? Say she lost her vote.
But it had to have been like when she went up to vote or something that he turned and was like,
or maybe it was some whispery thing like in the back row of the, but like why would Chrissy even buy into that?
No.
At that point, I'd be like, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Chrissy was so against Say, and she abandons that because Bianca doesn't have a vote. Cedric's so offended that Bianca doesn't have a vote that he seemingly saves Say, but doesn't tell her. Like, that doesn't look good to Say. Say is once again sitting at a Tribal being
blindsided by Cedric.
What did you do, Cedric? You couldn't loop me in with that?
I know.
What are you talking about? Like, I don't think this makes sense.
Well, to be honest, you can't loop Say in because if you tell Say, like, guess what? Bianca doesn't have a vote. She's going to march around shouting that information because Say doesn't take things sitting down. When she gets information, she goes and investigates, right? Yeah. When she was told that Kevin was throwing out her name, she like put a whole thing in action. And that was after Cedric was like, do you swear not to say anything if I tell you who is targeting you? It's Kevin. And she's like, I knew it. Yeah. And then it was a whole thing. So Cedric, I think, was like, I'm going to say, but I can't tell her because she can't keep it together.
And he obviously didn't have time because I do believe Bianca said it and they walked. And producers walk them to Tribal. They're not allowed to talk. Yeah. They sit there before Tribal starts and they're not allowed to talk. Like as Tribal is starting, there is like a silent time.
I am dying for a behind the scenes, like flashback of Cedric telling Chrissy.
Yeah.
And it makes me think like those two must have connected over something.
Yeah.
Because she felt, like you said, like she was so direct with Cedric of like, you have to vote for Say. It suggests some sort of like, we see eye to eye. And I think clearly that's true now that he shared this information with her and not Say.
Yeah.
And managed to save Say in the process.
I don't think Mitch knew. I think Mitch is left out.
Yeah.
And so, if the story is, look, Cedric literally got the information coming to Tribal. He gave me like in the back row. Sorry, we couldn't get to you, but here's the information. Like, hopefully that is what it is because Say and Mitch are going to both feel like, wait, why didn't I have this information?
100%.
But also, what? I don't know. I can't believe all of this.
Oh my God.
Poor Bianca, honestly. I feel like she was in a tough spot. And again, guess what? This all stems back to that stupid journey where she was forced to lose, risk her vote.
Yeah.
It was a dice game.
Yeah.
Survivor set these players up.
Sarah and I were eliminated back to back on this season of Survivor.
We are out of the game.
We are out. Poor Bianca, and I have to say it, poor Chantel.
Y'all, that is the 5th boot in a row on Chantel's draft. I couldn't believe it. I went to the draft sheet and was like, oh, she has Bianca.
I did the same thing this morning after I watched. I was like, I gotta know. And I was like, and then I saw that the last person on her team is Say.
Y'all.
And I said, Say's next.
Go out next, because the next one is the merge.
Yeah. Say is the Rome of this season.
Exactly.
And this is when Rome got voted out.
Yes. Say is the perfect, easy vote, right? We all come onto a beach. No one knows who to vote out or what to say about who, but Say's the loudest. She has stirred the pot, and they're like, sure, let's all take her out, right? Say's going next. If she doesn't go next, I will be shocked.
And if she does, we have to like make a plaque or something for Chantel for drafting the first 6 boots from Survivor 48.
That is impressive. Not the assignment, but so impressive.
So impressive. You and I are like in a tight race.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, we're playing Survivor.
I mean, I benefited from, a lot of I invested heavily in the original Siva tribe, and all of them are still around, obviously. And and a couple of them haven't even gone to tribal yet, because the next episode, Drop Your Buffs, it's probably sort of like the Murgatory situation. We don't know exactly what it is yet. And I have a feeling that it'll be a repeat of last season, where like this player is not going to be on the jury. They're like the final vote out before the jury.
That stinks.
I'm wondering like if they're going to go after a Siva and maybe not Say, because there are 6 Sivas. But again, like Say is just an obvious thing.
Yeah. I mean, now if it is a Murgatory thing, there is a possibility that Say is safe.
True.
And that does, then she doesn't go out.
It.
But if she's not safe, I'm worried. I'm worried. Oh my God, if they come together to take out Joe already.
Whoa.
Aaron, that is hardcore.
Yikes.
Not yet.
We have 4 players who have not been to tribal yet.
Kathy, that's rough. Sorry.
Oh, sorry, Kathy.
Yeah.
This Charity, I don't think is long for the game. But 4 players who had never been to tribal: David and Charity from the original Siva Orange, and then Eva and Star from the original Loggy Purple. So they are going to go to their first tribal. That will sort of test their relationships. Like and they've talked about this on the past couple of episodes of like, these people in the original Vula Green, their game has been tested.
Yeah.
Even Say talks about it in this tribal council. Like, I know what to expect, and I know what can happen. These people have been sitting pretty for a while, and they're just getting their first taste of real Survivor.
Yeah, I love, like, even Mitch, like something Jeff asked Mitch was like, I don't know, I've never been here before.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening here. I love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Cedric and Say are like battle worn.
Yeah.
But we've seen this before. This happens. What an incredible episode.
So good.
Top to
bottom.
Good. Yeah.
I didn't even feel, how I feel about the 90 minutes versus an hour. I love the like slickness of an hour long episode, but this one was so good and so worth the extra time. I loved it.
Oh yeah. Like, because we have 90 minutes, we get like this incredible conversations between Vula. We get the whole meltdown with Eva and the Joe of it all. I mean, my goodness. Yeah. This season is really, really good.
It's really good.
All right, you guys. Thank you so much for joining us live here. We appreciate you.
Yes. And if you're joining us later, leave us a comment and tell us all the things about this moment with Eva and Joe and really, the entire game. Who got voted out? Bianca's vote out. How do you feel about that? Was that the right move?
You know what? At least her and Thomas are having fun at Ponderosa right now.
Oh, they're having bottomless mimosas at Ponderosa. And then give us your predictions for who they're going to go after in this next tribal council.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Can Say survive?
Yeah.
Right. All right, you guys, we will see you next time. Same time, same place. And we will see you on Monday for Amazing Race.
That's right. Okay. See you then.
Bye.